The third topic is second language acquisition research and working beyond teaching methods. So we need to see that what second language acquisition research do or can do to help teachers to go beyond their teaching methods. According to Corder, when second language acquisition research began to emerge as a separate discipline, so one of the hopes was that it would benefit language teachers. So the idea was to provide teacher with the basic understanding and knowledge of how the second language acquisition works. And they thought that with this information, with this knowledge, teachers will feel informed and in terms of the knowledge, relevancy and the propriety of the material would be determined by them. Recently, SLA research has mostly seen its role as raising teachers' awareness of the basic SLA concepts rather than affecting teaching directly. So basic understanding of the concepts of SLA are acquired by the teachers, but in terms of the effectiveness of teaching or incorporating those concepts in teaching is still to be seen. Markey, for example, sees SLA research as a resource for changing teachers' professional culture. So we need to see that how professionally these concepts and these ideas or approaches have enabled teachers to incorporate and to create innovation in their teaching paradigms. SLA research includes both general as well as specific theories. Teaching too ranges from overall general goal to specific goals, and for language teaching to specific teaching techniques used with a particular group of learners. So you can't have all the general approaches for all type of learners. We need to see that how different approaches or different methodologies can suit specific learners. Linking research to teaching means employing both these scales, general as well as specific. On the one hand, using general SLA theories for either general or specific aspects of language. On the other, using specific SLA results in specific teaching areas. Specific results of SLA theories, that how in terms of cognitive abilities, how in terms of social skills, how in terms of acquiring of the linguistic input and data, what are the specific results that they have acquired from SLA research and how those results can be used in specific learning situations. Lightbourne and Spada propose the following for classroom teaching and research associated with each. Now we are going to look at the different type of research or the SLA theories, how they can supplement and how they can support different types of teaching methodologies in the classroom. First, we see that methods based on the behaviorist theory of language learning, emphasizing accuracy and form and not allowing errors. Now, the behaviorist theory, which was more concerned with the stimulus response process, emphasizes the accuracy. So, the material that is used in the classroom with regard to behaviorist theory, they only focus on the accuracy and form, the kind of language that is used and how accurately it is used, which does not provide a margin for errors. It is just the accuracy and form which are the focus of attention here. Second is methods based on the interactionist theory, giving learners the opportunity for conversation and where they receive meaningful input from teacher and students, which will in turn lead to acquisition of grammar and words of the second language. Now, this particular theory, which is interactionist theory, they provide learners with the opportunity to have conversation, and through conversation they can get engaged in a meaningful process of getting meaningful input from the teacher and students, and in return this would lead to the acquisition process of grammar and the words of second language. The third method that can be used in the classroom are based on comprehensible input. And we all know that this idea was introduced by Stephen Krashen, where the acquisition is based on the comprehensible input, the input which can be easily understood by the learner, which the learner considers meaningful and easy to understand. So theory most closely associated with Stephen Krashen, where the emphasis is not on the interaction but on providing input through listening and or reading. So the methodology or the channels that are used for this kind of approach or this kind of methodology is through listening. Through listening and reading, you get the comprehensible input, and the focus is on providing learners with that kind of material through listening or reading which he or she finds easy to understand. Then we have methods based on teaching what the learner is ready to learn. Readiness of learner. He is motivated, he is ready to learn. Most closely associated with Manfred Penman, his approach is that the learner should be considered as someone who is willing to participate in the learning process. So readiness is very important for any learning task. If the learner is demotivated, he or she will not be able to perform well. Then we have methods that recognize a role of instruction but also assume that not everything has to be taught. So the instruction, yes, needs to be emphasized. The instruction has a very important role in a classroom, but the understanding is that it's not everything that needs to be given to the learner. Not everything needs to be taught. It should be left to the learner also what he or she thinks or considers important. Focus on form, an important area of SLA, and poses a challenge as to include focus on form activities in communicative context. So SLA has focused on the understanding of focus on form. That has been a very important area of research and study in the second language acquisition. It is about how the linguistic units are paid attention to, how every linguistic unit needs to be acquired in order to use it appropriately in any setting. So this creates a huge challenge for the teachers, that how focus and form can be used in communicative language activities. Following uses of form-based knowledge have been suggested. One is planning and monitoring output, noticing features in the input, noticing the gap between their own production and the target language situation, speeding passage through development sequences. So we see that focus on form needs to be taken care of in terms of planning and monitoring the output, because if you have acquired certain forms, linguistic forms, then it needs to be seen how appropriately they've been expressed and how one notices the different features of forms through the input, and noticing the gap between what they are delivering, what they are producing, and if there is any gap between what they are producing and what the target situation requires, and also speeding passage through developmental sequence. So there is a sequence of acquiring the linguistic data or linguistic units, and this process speeds up the process of acquiring. To conclude, SLA research offers a wide variety of concepts and frameworks for teachers to enable them to assess and determine the best suitable teaching methodologies for their classroom.